Welcome to the Richard Lloyd USA YouTube channel. I'm Richard Lloyd. Today I'm very excited to bring you this content. I'm going to show you how to create a virtual Ethernet connection from anywhere in the world into your router, into your home network that will allow you to see anything on your home network that you would be able to see normally if you're at home connected to it through Wi-Fi or with an Ethernet cable. So it'll be a virtual Ethernet cable. Even on your phone, anywhere in the world, you'll be able to make that connection and log into your router, print from your printer at home, or look at your files or move files from your home server to your phone or to your laptop or to your client, whatever that is, and vice versa. Basically, a virtual Ethernet connection from anywhere in the world straight into your network, and it is encrypted at 256-bit with WireGuard, and it is a free VPN service that anybody can use. So pretty cool, right? No fees, no nothing. Virtual Ethernet connection or private connection from your phone to your home network any time of the day or night, anywhere in the world where you have internet access. Well, currently, even if you're out in space, as long as you have internet access, you can privately, securely connect from there to your home network and look at everything in your home network, which I've done, well, not from space, but from Walmart. And I actually printed out a sheet from Walmart here in my network just to test it out. But yeah, basically, you can browse anything on your network, on your phone or on your laptop or whatever client you're using. I'll show you those options. And, you know, pretty cool. And we're going to do that with some pretty low-end hardware. We're going to be using I'm going to be using an EA8300 as the appliance that's going to give us this connection. You can buy one of these for about 30 bucks on eBay and probably less elsewhere, like Facebook Marketplace or whatever. You're going to need a USB thumb drive like this one, 16 gigabit USB 3. No less is really actually possible. This will do just fine. And you're going to need third-party firmware called DD-WRT. And that's going to have to be running on your home network, primary router, and on the node that we're going to build. Now, if you're using OpenWRT or Tomato or some other third-party firmware, this may work for you as well. I haven't tested that yet, but those third-party firmwares also allow you to write rules into the firewall, like the ones that we're going to do here in this video. Now, this may look really complicated, but really on your part, all you really need to do is just copy and paste and follow along step by step with me, and this will happen. You will be able to do this. Now, I'm using the AE8300, but I've also done made the same node with the same scripts that I'm going to show you on an R8500, on an R7000, on an 8000, a 9000, several other different routers, all running DD-WRT. Of course, you need that on those routers, on these nodes. They need that. I tried it on an Archer C9, but it does not have enough memory. So your router has to have a minimum of 256 megabytes of RAM. Or, if it doesn't have that, the C9 has 128, and it just can't do it. It doesn't have enough memory. So this is the bottom line, what I'm showing you. And like I said, this node is $30. And I'm going to show you some higher end hardware to do this with in the future. But I wanted to start with a very basic setup that is affordable for most people. Like I said, you can mix and match. I can't guarantee you any results as this is, again, there's a lot of variables. But I'll show you how I did it. And hopefully this system will work for you with what you have, okay? So what this is and what this isn't, okay? Well, like I said, it's like a virtual Ethernet connection from anywhere in the world. As long as you've got Wi-Fi or cellular or internet connection of some kind, you can connect to this node and into your network and see it all and securely. Now, it's not the same as regular VPN, which anonymizes you on the internet and allows you to surf and nobody knows where you are and who you are and whatever. It's not an anonymizer. It is a virtual tunnel. It's a connection. Like I said, think of it as an Ethernet cord that is virtual. If you want that kind of VPN, well, you have to pay for that service and go get it. This is free. Tailscale is the VPN service we're going to be using. It's peer-to-peer and it's free. And they allow you to connect like hundreds of devices. So really cool. That's what it is and what it isn't. I'm going to be using DD-WRT firmware. This is what works for me. I would suggest very strongly that you follow very closely what I do, exactly what I do. And if you can use the same hardware, I mean, like I said, as far as the secondary router, the Tailscale node, that would be great. But you can go higher, and I will show you how to use like an MR7350 and so on, higher end routers to do this as well. But the USB thumb drive has to be USB 3, and the smallest you're going to find is 16 gigabytes anyway, and the faster the better. And then we'll configure this all. So let's begin the process, and hopefully we can, I can show you how to do this on your router, and then you can be completely amazed by the service and how it works. I wanted to give a quick shout out to the people who led me down this rabbit hole to figure out this solution, which I am completely, enamored with. Not the people, but the solution. And again, Everyday Gaming GA and Mirrors 26 and several other people have asked, how do you do this remotely? And that's what this video is about, is how to share data remotely with your home network and how to access your home network remotely, securely, safely, and from anywhere in the world where there's internet. So again, beautiful solution, and I'll show you a little bit more about it here. Here's a diagram of what it's going to look like. What we're going to do, zoom in a little bit, is in my case, I've got an external hard drive connected to my primary router as a file share, but you don't have to have that. You can be sharing files from a PC, from a laptop, from whatever, a NAS if you have one, and it's going through the Netgear router. The node, which is this Tailscale VPN node, will be the Linksys EA8300, and it will encrypt all that data and then basically send it out to the internet whenever you connect, to your phone, to your laptop, to your PC, whatever you've got on the other side, away from home, and it will feel like you're connected straight to your home network as if you were at home, as far as what you can do on your device. So if you can do it at home on your phone, you can do it wherever you are in the world once you connect with this service and with this node. So how cool is that, right? You could be you could be in London, your home could be in California, and you could look at your files and look at your network and print files on your printer, as long as there's paper in it, and I ran into that problem. But from London, no problem at all. Again, remember when you're using a cell phone, that if you're using your data plan, your cellular data plan, you're going to be eating up data if you move a lot of files between your home and your phone. So, I mean, if you have unlimited and it isn't capped, rock and roll. Just stay connected and keep moving data back and forth, right? It'll allow you to do that. And, again, I'll show you how all this works as we go along. I just wanted to show you, a functional diagram of what we're going to do. In my case, this is what I have anyway, an R7000 running DD-WRT. And it's going to be connected to an EA8300 on 192.168.1.2. And we're going to make this happen. I'll show you how to do this on the video. But the first thing we need to do is prep the primary router, your home router, which doesn't have to be an R7000. It just has to be something running third-party firmware that accepts startup commands and firewall commands. OpenWRT does that, Tomato does that, and DD-WRT does that. But for your sake, if you want this to work, just use exactly the same stuff I'm using, including the firmware revision that I'm using. And I can guarantee that if you follow my steps using that same hardware, well, I can't guarantee it, but it more than likely will work. Okay, so here is what we have. We have to log into this router first and set it up before we do anything else anywhere else. So by default, it should be on 192.168.1.1. So let's log into it. And here's my manual for doing this. And I'll put this in the comment section below this video. All right, so we're going to go and log into that router. I always use a private window because I find that it's the cleanest way to get in. So 192.168.1.1, just type it into the address, whatever your router's parameters are for getting in. For me, it's admin and my password. I'll do that. And then we're going to go to administration over here and commands. And it should be blank for you. There shouldn't be anything here. I mean, if there is, then you're doing something else, but I'm starting blank. And so what we're going to put in here is a startup script and a firewall script that will allow the second router to just flow through it without any problem at all, including Tailscale. If you don't do this, none of it will work. In fact, every step in this video, if you don't do it, it won't work. So we're going with this one first. So let's go get the firewall and the startup script. Okay, we'll start with the startup script here. And you can see that I have it, pretty well laid out. How to go and navigate through this. I'm going to copy this startup script and put it in the commands box right here. So paste it in. There you go. And then just save startup. That's it. The startup script is in the primary. And then scroll down here to the firewall rules or rule and just copy that. And again, it tells you that my document's going to tell you put this in 192.168.1.1, and that's what we're doing. Click on paste, and then save firewall down here. And that's it. Now this router is ready to let traffic through it from the Tailscale router. If you like I said, if you don't follow step by step, if you don't do this in the sequence that I'm showing you, it probably won't work. Step one has to be done before step two. If you do it in reverse, it doesn't work, right? So we've got the step one down. Next thing we got to do is disconnect from our network. And I don't believe I'm on Wi-Fi. Well, yeah, Wi-Fi's on, but I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi and I'm going to physically connect. Let's go take a look over here. All right, so I'm going to physically connect an Ethernet cable from the back of my computer to the back of the router, as you see here. And the 16 gigabyte thumb drive, you can put it we'll put it in right now. It should be more formatted FAT32, which is usually how it is right out of the package. If not, format it on your computer and drop it in, and then we'll format it to the correct file structure that it needs for Linux. But basically, this can go in anytime, so just put it in. And again, Ethernet cable to any one of the 4 LAN ports, not the internet port, and to your computer. So you're isolating your computer to the second router, the one the EA8300 that I'm programming, and you're going to program if you're doing this, or whatever router you chose. And basically, this is what you do. Now, again, remember, this is all experimental. I have no guarantees on this. It worked for me. I can't guarantee you it'll work for you, all right? So next, again, when we're done also, I want to show you this. When we're done, you will have 4 extra LAN ports that you can use as part of your network. So basically what you're getting out of this deal is a Tailscale VPN secure tunnel and a 4-port switch that you can use, right? But never, ever, ever plug the cable from the EA8300, the Tailscale computer that we're making here with this router, into the internet port. Because if you ever reset it, you won't be able to get back into it, because that port will just revert back to what it is, or what originally is labeled to be an internet port. But we're going to convert all 4 of those into LAN ports by doing what we're doing. It's basically automatic once you set it, okay? So just extra ports, kind of a bonus on this video. Okay, well, we're not there yet. We're going to connect it to the main router, but right now all we're doing is isolating it to your computer. If you don't have an Ethernet connection on your computer, you can buy a USB Ethernet 1 gigabit adapter, USB A and 3 obviously, and USB-C. Again, very fast, very cheap. I like $10 on Amazon. Awesome. If you don't have Ethernet connectivity on your PC or laptop or whatever you have, that'll do it for you. $10. Links in the video description. So we've got the thing physically connected, and actually, do I have it physically connected? I don't believe so. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. So I got it connected now to the back of my PC, and by default, these routers on DD-WRT all end up on 192.168.1.1. So just type in 192.168.1.1 and you should get to it, to the router. I'm already logged in, so I mean, you may have to log in, but this is my EA8300, as you can see it right there. And again, it's connected to the back of my computer through an Ethernet port. All the other network settings or connections are off, so I'm isolated to it by itself. So let's set it up, and I'm going to follow my manual here to the T. As you can see here, we've done the firewall on router 1, and we probably won't have to do it again or anything else on that router. So now we got to do the initial Tailscale router configuration. So we've navigated to it. Here it says, well, we've turned the Wi-Fi off on our computer, and again, followed that. Now, we haven't done a hard reset yet, but we will do one. So let's just do that right now. Go to administration. And the reason you want to do a reset and factory defaults, so administration factory defaults, is because stuff gets left behind. Even though you turn things off, sometimes things get stuck. And so some of your configuration is in the background, even though you think you've turned it off. So we turn it to a factory default, and then we start from scratch. So I'm going to do that, save and apply, hit OK, and then when it reboots, we'll log back into it on this IP address. All right, got it connected directly to my computer using a LAN cable or Ethernet cable. Open up a browser. I'm going to use a private window. That seems to work better for me. And it will be at 192.168.1.1, as that is the default IP address for DD-WRT. So here, just put a username and password. Change credentials. There we go. Now it's going to ask you to log in again. I'm in. The reason I hit the administration tab, because there's always one thing that I recommend everybody do, and that is turn on the info site password protection. What that does is it doesn't allow you to see anything about the router unless you are logged into it. Before, it basically doesn't show you any information about the router until you log into it. That's a security feature. Make sure you check that off and save and apply. So step 1. Step 2, we're going to go to the setup tab. It's still applying that change. So here we go. First thing we're going to do is disable automatic configuration DHCP on the connection type, and I'll follow my document here. So I'm following along. We're not using the WAN port, and what that setting here does is it turns all the ports on the back of that router into LAN ports, not because it knows it's like, well, you're not using it for a WAN port, might as well use it for a LAN port. So all 4 extra ports after this are available to you, but do not use the WAN internet port for the connection from the EA8300, like your Tailscale router, to your main router. Because if you ever reset it, then it won't work. You won't be able to do anything with it because it'll reset that port back to a WAN port. But it's fine to use as a switch port for anything else. All right, there you go. That's my warning to you. So here we're going to change the IP address to 192.168.1.2, and please use the same IP addresses I'm using, including on your main router if you want this to work, because this is a very specific configuration. There's really no wiggle room, no fudge room in it. So 192.168.1.1, and again, it is on those settings are here in my document. I missed telling you about the shortcut forwarding engine. Just make sure that's on, but by default on this router it is. So we've got those IP addresses, 192.168.1.2 and 24 on the end. And 1.1 for the gateway and 1.1 for the local DNS means that it's going to be using the primary router for those functions. It is now not a router anymore. We're turning into a little cryptographic computer. It's going to just crunch encrypted packets and decrypt packets. So here under dynamic host configuration protocol, DHCP server, disable that, uncheck these 2 things, and then go down here and again, change it to your time zone. Again, that is in my installation manual, again, in the comment section below. Again, just follow along. You can follow along, or you can just follow the document. I'm doing the exact same thing. So here, I'm just going to type in time.google.com for the time server. Why is that important? Because time is very, very important. Both computers that are connecting to each other in an encrypted tunnel have to have the same time, or else they can't trust each other, right? So they have to be in sync with current time. If they're not, if they're too far off, then one of them goes, there's something wrong on the other side and I'm not trusting you, right? So time is one of the most crucial things to making this work. If you don't do this time thing correctly, what's going to happen is that basically all the encrypted features that you're trying to install won't install. So here, just hit save, follow that direction. Again, that is in my document. All right, and there, time.google.com, that's where we are. And then save at the bottom. Don't hit save and apply because we've changed the IP address and it'll just disappear on your page and it just will be no fun to get to. Just hit save for now. We'll save and apply when we're done. All right, there's no need to do it right now. I'm going to go to the wireless tab, and here we're going to turn off all the radios. So go to network mode and choose disabled on every one of the radios. There we go. There we go. And then save again at the bottom. We're not using this for Wi-Fi. We're not using this for anything but crunching packets. Now you can experiment, it's your deal, but I'm not. So here I've got that direction right here on the wireless. Save at the bottom. Did that. And then next we're going to go to services and scroll down till you see SSH. So click on that. And then keep scrolling. Disable Telnet and WAN traffic counter. We don't need anything running we're not going to use. We want all the power that this router has. And it has quite a bit. It has 4 processors in it. It's got a quad processor and quad FPUs, which are floating point units, which formerly used to be known as, or otherwise are known as math coprocessors. Encrypted packets require a lot of math, so that's why I chose this router, because it's got a decent CPU package to do this one task, and it's fairly, affordable. You can buy one for $30 on eBay or under $30 just about anywhere. Recommend that router for doing this, and I'll show you the performance of it once we get done. So we got SSH here, no problem, it's done. Click the save on the bottom always before you navigate away from the page. Go to USB here, click on enable, and so do that. Core USB support enable, USB storage support enable, automatic drive mount enable, save. We're not going to hit save and apply yet though. It's all done. And yes, now we click on save and apply, and then we're going to physically turn off the router and turn it back on again. So save and apply, it'll disappear. Well, maybe not, but now it should no longer be on 192.168.1.1. So I'm going to turn mine off, and I'll come back to this. The next step is after you turn it off, you're going to plug it back in to, it says now your access point is live at 192.168.1.2. You're going to disconnect it from the back of your computer and connect it straight into the router. And that's what we're going to do here in a sec. Well, I'm going to do it here in a sec, and then we'll continue on. We're going to take an Ethernet cable from the back of your computer back to your primary router. Okay, so now you're connected. Your computer or your PC or whatever you're using is going to be connected to your primary router on 192.168.1.1. And then your router, your EA8300 or your Tailscale router, whatever you're using, will be connected to the back of your primary router's LAN ports, any one of the 4 that's there, and any one of the 4 on the EA8300 as well. So we've basically taken the computer, connected it to the primary router, and taken the EA85 and connected it to the primary router as well. So I'll do that, and hopefully, you do the same, and we'll continue on from there. All right, moving ahead here, this is what you should have. You should have the EA8300 connected with an Ethernet cord to the back of your primary router like this, and of course the router on the internet. And your LAN, your PC or your laptop or whatever you're using to connect should be connected to the primary router at this point. And that's the configuration I have. Next thing to do is reconnect to the 192.168.1.2 computer. Router. So let's go do that. I'll just copy it from here. Actually, you can copy it from here if you wish as well. It'll be in the comment section below. Drop it in, enter, and of course it's going to ask for credentials. Put them in, and put yours in, and off we go. Right. So at this point, we'll go to setup, and you'll see that now we're on 2 as we're supposed to be. Everything's cool there. Just keep this up for now. Let's follow the directions we've got. And USB thumb drive, well, I already put it in there, I believe. Yes, it's already in the back of my router, but just put it in there. It should be formatted FAT32. It's generally how thumb drives come to the consumer. If not, just put it in your computer and format it. It doesn't matter whether it's exFAT or FAT32 or NTFS. We're going to reformat it anyway. So just put it, the reason you format it is just to keep it clean when you put it in there. There's nothing else on it. And before you format it, if you used it before, make sure you're not wiping out all the data on it if it's important to you, right? So we're in the router, and then we're going to go to the web portal, and so where it's going to take us here, just to services, and then to USB, and you can see that mine is already what they call mounted, and you can see that it's a FAT32 drive. It says it right there, and down here as well. So this is fine, but it's no good for this router. This is a Linux computer we're putting together. It needs to run a Linux file system, which is ext4, and we need to format that USB thumb drive to ext4, and that's what we're going to do. And I'll show you how. We're going to do a script called F.Sh, F for format, and Sh for shell script. So we're going to open up a command window, and the way you do that is just go to search, type in cmd. I run it as administrator. You don't have to, but I always do. So yes, there we go. There's our command window, and here I'm going to follow the directions here in this window. So okay, so USB drive should be mounted automatically. Okay, we're in the command box. Let's type, let's follow the directions. We're going to go SSH into the router. So copy and paste. There we go. Say yes to this question. It won't ask you again. Shouldn't anyway. There we go, unless it's a different router. Now we're into it. Now the first thing you want to do is copy this command right here, right? This command, we got to know that the router is available. It can go out to the internet. And if it can't, then there's no point going any further. So I'm going to copy that command, drop it in here, press enter. And you can see I'm getting a reply from Google. So that's great. That means that everything's cool. We're on this router, the 192.168.1.2, which is going to be the cloud router or the Tailscale router that's going to allow us to do this VPN thing, is online. That verifies it there. So if you don't get this result, then something is not right. So go back and basically rewind the video, look at the document, follow it step by step again, and try again. It could be that you didn't put the firewall statement into the primary correctly, or the startup into the primary correctly. Check that first. That's the first step anyway. And you cannot get out to the internet without those things on the primary anyway. So that's why the primary needs to have DD-WRT or something like it, because those commands need to be put in there. So we're good. That's a good thing. Let's create a script using VI editor. Visual editor is what it's called. So just copy what you got there. So I'm going to copy VI and drop it in. And then you hit enter as it states, and then hit the I key, which means insert. And that's in here as well. Now copy everything below this line. So just, follow my lead. So everything below that line, grab it. And like I said, don't worry about the script. Just worry about getting all of it into this window. After that, it does everything for you. So click on copy. Back on this window, right click, and that should put it all in there for you. Now hit the escape key as the instructions tell you to do there. And then we're going to do a W for write and a Q for quit. So that's it. So you hit the escape key, use the colon, right, and Q, so WQ. So we're done with that. Now we're going to change, and again, like I said, it's all right here. Now we got to change it to an executable file. So the way you do that is type this command in. So you're getting a little bit of a Linux tutorial here. There we go. That's how you change it. Change mode to plus means execute, add it. X means executable. F.Sh is the file name. So enter. And here, the next thing we're going to do is exactly what it says to do. Put a period, a forward slash, and F. And if you hit the tab key, it'll fill out the rest of it. So there we go. And here, press enter. And this is going to start formatting your USB thumb drive automatically. That's it. You don't have to do anything else. Just copy and paste, a couple of commands, done, right? So I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody. So even if you're not savvy with the command line, all you got to do is just follow that document to the left. I'm going to let this go through and pick it up when it's done. And you will see that same thing happening. There. Well, I guess I waited long enough. There, it's on, right? But at this point, what you should do, as it says in the document, the installation document, type in reboot, right? And so the router is going to reboot, and then I'll come back to it, right? You know, oops, typed it in the wrong place, but there we go. Just type in reboot in the command line, and it will reboot the router. I'll pick it up when it comes back up. All right, we'll keep following our manual over here, and next we're going to do some scripts, more scripts into the router to get this to be formatted and configured the way we need it. So again, we're going to go back to the web page for the router, 192.168.1.2, and just hit refresh over here. And your drive should now be saying XT4 file system, and it'll have a unique label. It won't be the same as mine. So, but you need to know what that label is. It's right here, UUID, which stands for Universally Unique Identification. So what you're going to do is take the number that's here inside this space, exclude the UUID and the DCE information at the end. Just take the big long string of numbers, and thank goodness you don't have to type it in. You can just highlight it and copy it, and then put it into the mount partition 2 / OPT. So just paste it in there, and then hit save, and save and apply. I mean, I just kind of a habit with me. So now, once that's done, we like I said, that instruction's right here. Save and apply at the bottom. We're going to SSH back into the router again. So that is the command box. So copy that and put it into your black box down here. And you don't have to really copy and paste. If you go up arrow on your keyboard, you'll get the last command, or last bunch of commands. It'll cycle through them, but just go up arrow and you'll get that as well. So here we're going to SSH into it. Put your password in. There we go. We're in DD-WRT. It's pretty obvious. So in the command window, you can just go type in this command here, and it'll tell you all about the drive. So let's just do that for fun. There it is. You can see that it is an ext4, which is what we want. That's the file format we want. And then it's mounted on OPT, which we told it to do by pasting that number in there. And it'll always be mounted on OPT. That's part of the deal here. We're mounting a hard drive, which is the USB thumb drive, but let's just pretend it's a computer with a hard drive. And then we're going to put swap memory in there so that the computer never runs out of memory, because it only has 256 megs of RAM. But now it has 2 gigs of virtual RAM in that it will have in that USB thumb drive. And then it'll have the rest of the space of that USB thumb drive to use as storage space for all the programs we're going to put into it, right? So just follow along. Again, it's technical, but if you just copy and paste and follow along, you should be able to do it. So here, we're going to create a swap file. So we need to create a swap file script. So that's what I called it. I called it s.sh for swap. And VI is the editor, so just copy that in there. Hit enter, hit I for insert, and then just like always, everything below the line, highlight it all, scroll down till you get to everything, copy all text above this line, all text below this line. It's always going to be the same. So highlight it all, right click it, copy it, and then just right click over here and it will paste it all in here. And at this point, we're going to follow the directions at the bottom here. And that is hit escape, colon, W and Q. Oops. Helps if we do it in the right place. Here, we're going to hit escape, colon, W and Q. There we are. And like I said, you have to be accurate, right? So next we're going to follow with the next command, which is change mode, make it executable, and choose the file. So there we go. That's the command. To do that, you can't run it unless you make it executable. So that does that. And here, this is the command that will run that file and create our swap file. So let's do that. Here we go. Right click it, paste it, enter. All right, this is going to take a little bit, and so I'll pick it up when it's done, and we can continue on. All right, there we are. It's getting more fun now, isn't it? Less tedious, more action. We've got 2 gigs of swap, and it says it is now live, which means it's it's built, made, and actually activated and running right now. So we've got if you do this command, which is disk free and H for human and type. The other switch is for type. You'll see now that we have 14 gigs of memory or hard drive or USB. Well, I'm going to call it a hard drive. It's mounted on opt over here, and 11.4 of it is available. That's because the 2 gig of it is being used as swap. And if you want to see the swap, just type in free, and there you go. It will tell you right here how much you got. So, but it also tells you it right here, and it tells you that it's live. So, excellent. We're moving on. Next, we're gonna, and I have all that over here. And next, we're gonna install the software package manager. And think of it like the Google Play Store or the Apple Store on your phone, except for this router. It will allow you to install packages and update packages much easier than doing it manually. I will include a update script just for Tailscale in case that the Entware people don't update it when it should be, and then it falls behind or it becomes unsafe to use. And Tailscale will tell you if your version is too old and you should upgrade and not use it, right? So this software package that we're putting in here called Entware is up to date, no problem at all. But it can fall out of date, so I will put an update script in here for you, but you don't have to run it. This installation of Entware will do that by itself. So let's get at it. Enough talking about it. And so type in VI again. Back to our install. It's all here, right? Just copy it. And like I said, you're going to have this document at the bottom in the comments section, so forever. So VI, you can always come back and refer to it and run it again if you wish. Then, of course, I in here for, there we go, for insert. Grab the program down to the bottom line there. Hit copy. Over here to paste. There we go. Hit escape. Colon. WQ for write quit, and hit enter. Now we're going to change the mode to executable, and that is plus X, so that makes it executable, and then E for Entware, and that's that. And next, if you see it down here, just type in period / E and then the tab, and that will fill it up, and then hit enter, and it will begin to install Entware. So I'll let this go for a bit, and I'll pick it up when it's done. Well, that was quite a bit of software coming in, right? That's what we needed the extra space for, things like this. Now, Entware, the package manager is in, and so is Tailscale. But if you scroll up here, you'll see Tailscale right there, that the version that it installed was 1.96.1-1. Now that and it's for ARM v7. Perfect. That's exactly what we need. It's not the latest version, but it is a very late version. It's probably like the third, probably 2 packages back. But regardless, it's secure, ready to go, and fine. You could just use it just like that, no problem. But what happens when with these software package managers is sometimes they go stale. In other words, they don't update the whole package for like 3 months, and then you might fall behind. So what I'm going to do here is build an update script for you, and I'm going to put it in the op directory, which means it's going to stay on the router forever. All you got to do is run a command, and it will update the package, the Tailscale package, to the latest version. Really, that's the only package on this whole router that matters. So let's do that. So I have it here in my script again. Sorry, in my installation manual. And again, once again, it's just copy and paste. So we're going to copy it. Here we go. And paste it in here. I thought I copied it. Here we go. Copy. Paste. And the usual, type I to insert. And then copy all below this line as per how we've been going all the way along. And yeah, you know, it's great. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to do anything. You just copy the scripts, drop them in, and when you need them, run them. That's it. And if you forget how to run them, just come back to this video, look at the comment section. It'll be the first pinned comment. Off you go, right? So insert. So right click here, hit escape. Again, right and Q. So escape, colon, right, and Q. Enter. And like I said, all those are here. All those commands are here. So next, we're going to make it executable. And hit copy on that. So just put it right here. There you go. And then we're going to run it, which is dot, period, / and well, actually, first, before we run it, we're going to copy it over to, yeah, before we run it, better copy it somewhere where it's not going to disappear. So we'll do that here. And there we go. Oops. Paste it in there. So we're going to copy CP, update over to the op directory. Just copy and enter this. There we go. Now it's in the op directory. And the way you would run it, anytime you want to update it, is just run this command right here. Okay. So here we're going to hit copy, and we're going to paste it in. Nothing special, just run that and hit enter. And there it goes. It's updating to the latest one. And the current version, I don't know if I can see it in this, but we saw it up there. Yeah, there's the new version, 9.6.4. The other one was 9.6.1 something. So yeah, it updates it. Now the fact that this is dead means that it's shut off. This script shuts off Tailscale and checks to see if it did before it updates it. And sure enough, it did. So off we go with the update. It's funny, about 5 seconds after I gave up on it, it finished. So here it is, latest version. And what we have here is 196.4. But if we go up here, I'm pretty sure I can find the other, there it is, 196.1. So now you have the latest version. And anytime you want to run it, again, just run this command right here. And if you forget it, just come down here to the comment section below this video, and the first pinned comment will have it for you, right? So ready to go there. We've done it. It's the latest one. So let's type in the next command, which is Tailscale status. Copy it and paste it in here. There we go. Tailscale status. Failed to connect, doesn't appear to be running. That's because we haven't started it yet. So we're going to create a startup script and a firewall set of rules to make this go through both routers. And again, it's just copy and paste for you. Aren't you lucky? You didn't have to figure this out. I had to figure it out, which is my gift to you, I think. So again, on the 192.168.1.2 router, which I still have up here somewhere. Yeah, right there. You know, .2 right there. So we're going to put these commands into the administration commands box. So let's go there. So we're going to copy everything below on the startup here. There we go. And everything above right there. So hit copy. And I missed the space there. There we go. And again, like I said, just copy and paste it in to the commands box. So Control V. And if you want to see the whole thing, just stretch it out like that. You can, and then scroll across. But don't modify it at all. It's very particular. The routers are very particular how they take commands in these boxes. They all have to be in a singular line. All right. You know, again, you didn't have to figure that out. I did. So save startup. There we go. And it all goes into the startup box, ready to go. Pre-done, pre-boxed. It will work. Well, I'll show you it working in a second. So next we're going to take the firewall. Again on 192.168.1.1. Just copy it. And back to the box. Paste it. And then go down to save firewall. And trust me, we're almost there. You know, when you see this running, you'll see why it's worth the time and effort to do this. Now, what we're going to do with the 192.168.1.2 router, which is the Tailscale router, just reboot it, and it should come up online and running. So I'll pick this up after the reboot, and I'll show you how to get it all. At that point, we're actually going to get this working on Tailscale. Back to the command window, just do the up arrow so that you get the last command and hit enter. We're going back in for one more time here. At least I think it's just one more time. And at this point, we're going to type in what we have right here, Tailscale status, and then press enter. So just copy and paste it over here. Hit enter. And there you go. It says logged out, and it gives you a login and a unique HTTPS address. Now this one will only work for me, and trust me, I'll delete the machine and this will never work again for anybody else. Yours will be unique to your machine. So just copy it like this. There we go. And then drop it somewhere like a notepad. Let's make another notepad here and just drop it here so you have it easily accessible. Now what you need to do is go over to Tailscale. So, all right, go to tailscale.com in your favorite browser. Click on Get Started. It's free. I've already got an account, of course. Then just choose which one you want to sign up with. I'll go with GitHub here. So I'm just going to click on this and then we'll move on. So here you authorize Tailscale, and then it will be connected with GitHub, and you'll be able to then you'll have an account. So I'll just click on that, authorize with Tailscale, and you will arrive at your console. At this point, what you do is take that HTTPS that you got here out and put it in here in your browser. So let's do that. There we go. Hopefully I got it all. No, I didn't. Let's get that again. There we go. So copy and paste it from there. So right click it, that's copied, and put it in. At this point, click on connect. You saw DD Cloud here, so it's exactly what we called it on the router, like in the router name. All right, so we end up in the console, and you can see I have DD Cloud in here. It's the right version, 196.4, I believe the latest version. And if you had something wrong with your version, they'll tell you right here. They'll put some sort of notice right there, a red exclamation or something. Anyways, it'll just tell you your version out of date or it's vulnerable, need to update it. And of course, I gave you the update script so you can do that easily. Here's my IP address on that machine. Of course, I'm going to remove all this, and it'll be gone after this video. But in order to have this work, you need to click over here on this 3 button and choose Edit Route Settings. And you need to allow this to allow subnets by clicking on that. So 192.168.1.0.24, that is your home router's network. So now this Tailscale node has access to everything on your network, and we'll share that out to a client, which we're going to install next. So just click, make sure you do this, because if you don't, it won't work for you. Every little bit of this needs to be done correctly. So step by step, get it done, right? So here, just hit save, right? You can see that it's connected. So at this point, I need to install the client on my phone, which I'm going to set up next, and I'll show you how to install it, and then we'll go through that. So we're at the Play Store. We're going to go get the app, and the app is called Tailscale. See, Tailscale, yeah. And again, all this stuff is free, including the service with Tailscale, which is amazing, really, for what you're getting. Okay, open it up. All right, just say yes or okay. Get started. And since we already have an account, we're going to click on login. And I did it with GitHub, so off we go. Authorize Tailscale. There we go. And you know, very much the same screen you were getting to connect the router. Hit connect. And yeah, notifications. Continue. Allow. And now both my devices are now online. You can see DD Cloud, my router, and my phone. But one setting you need to check is right here in the top right. Click on that icon or button and go to subnet routing and make sure that use Tailscale subnets is on. All right, so it's good. We've got it. Now if you go back to your account online, you can see it, or on your computer, you can see that the note is in there, right? My phone is in there and it's connected. Now, what we're going to do is disconnect and shut the app, all the apps off. And I'm going to put it on my home screen too, so let's just do that. There we go, and right there. There we go. And open it up again. Connect, so you get a fresh connection with no problems. Because you saw that up top there was a little warning, a little red warning up there, but we don't have it anymore. So there, we're now connected to the network, and through Tailscale and through VPN to my internal network. Now, I'm on Wi-Fi right now because this is the easiest way to test this without costing me a whole bunch on, cellular data. But I'll turn the Wi-Fi off, and now you can see I'm only on cellular. And also note for the people who use Apple devices or iOS, there is an app for that. Those are devices as well. I can't really comment because I don't have it, but I hear it works even better than this one. So here we go. Let's go take a look at my network. Okay, first of all, let's go see if I can see my router. All right. Right now let's see if it's in my list. Maybe right there, yeah. Maybe not. 192.168.1.1. Ta-da. All right, took a little bit, but maybe we're just routing through. And admin. And of course, I'm not going to type in the password here, but you can see I'm getting into my router. It's asking me to log in, so that's cool. Let's go look at something else on my network. Again, remember, no Wi-Fi. I'm on the cellular network, so I'm completely getting access to everything in my network right now. So let's go to, yeah, that's normal. What else can I look at? I guess I could look at 192.168 at the Tailscale router. I didn't even think about that, but again, not logging into it because you don't need to see the key punches to get me into my router. Okay, here we're going to go, and again, asks me to log in. So obviously I have access to my internal network. If we go over here to my file program, CX File Explorer, I got my network locations. Let's choose this one. That's internal. 192.168.1.67 is an internal address. It's not a, So at this point, let's go to desktop. And there's my favorite. This is a huge file, 42 gigabytes. And I have actually copied the whole thing, but through Wi-Fi, not through Ethernet. So through cellular network, which I'm currently on. And I'm just going to start this. I'm not going to copy the whole thing or even come close. I'm just going to copy it here, paste it here, just so you see what kind of speed you can expect through the cellular network. Now, my cell plan here where I am, or signal, isn't the greatest. So there you go. I'm getting like 768, 790 kilobytes per second. I'm going to cancel that right now. But obviously, I have access to my internal network, and it is through a VPN connection with Tailscale. Now, I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi back on. And I know everybody's going, oh, well, now that's not really private. No, it still is on the private network. And I'll show you how you can tell. Okay, it's speed basically. So let's go back to my network and grab that same file. Desktops, there it is. And copy it. Whole point is having complete access to everything on your network from any remote location in the world with internet access, which is what I just showed you we have. So now I'm just going to show you speed stuff. So let's go back to dumping it in my files. And there you can see through my Wi-Fi network, I'm almost 10 megabytes per second. So it's plenty fast. So that's showing you more or less the maximum speed that it can do with a really good connection. Now, with any network connection, the slowest point between you and the data that you're grabbing is the choke point. So on the cellular network, obviously my cell feed is going to be, my data feed from the cellular network is going to be the choke point. So unless I have a really decent cell signal, I'm not going to get 9.7 megabytes per second, but maybe you will. And again, we're encrypting and decrypting packets. So, what's the maximum this can do? Well, we can figure that out right now. All right. So there's what you're seeing on the screen right now is theoretically the maximum you're going to get connected to this phone through Tailscale. Okay, with this equipment. Now I'm going to do other videos that show this differently, right? But I'm just going to hit cancel here. And I'm going to show you one more thing. And since this video is completely experimental, I have not guaranteeing any results here at all. This is all experimental. It's something I cooked up that seems to work really well, and hopefully it'll work for you as well. But I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm not responsible for anything that happens when you follow these directions. This is just educational use only, but it's a lot of fun. And if you're a tinkerer, an experimenter, or somebody who wants to try this out seriously, rock and roll. This is about experimentation. All right, so right now, my router, I'll show you a little trick to get this to maybe go a little faster. Let's go to the Tailscale router, go to Administration tab, and this router has a very interesting feature. Notice overclocking. It allows you to take it from its stock speed, 716, to 896 megahertz. Now, I've used it on 896 megahertz for days and days and days. No problems at all. And I've transferred that whole 42 gig file several times, probably about 5 or 6 times. That's a lot of data. But of course, I did it through Wi-Fi, but still through Tailscale. So it all went through the router. And it worked great. So I'm going to just hit save and apply here. And then I'm going to reboot the router. Luckily, that doesn't take very long. And in the meantime, what I'm going to do is show you the speed that this would give you internally inside your network without Tailscale. So we're going to disconnect from Tailscale, shut off, close the apps, go back to I'll close this one too. And we're going to go back to CX File Explorer, still on Wi-Fi. And I'm going to go to my network. Now I am internally in my network. So let's go to that file, users. And basically what I'm showing you here prior to doing the test with the overclocked router is the maximum throughput that this data can flow through my network. Now the choke points on this are, of course, my routers and my phone, right? And my Wi-Fi speed. But we'll just get copy on that. Let's move over to my local SD card, dump it in my files, paste. So as you saw there, it went up to 19 megabytes per second, and now it's floundering, but there, it's climbing now. Probably because the router shouldn't have anything to do with it, but showing you the maximum that this phone could possibly give me no matter what. I mean, we're now internally connected through Wi-Fi, and I'm getting 30 megabytes per second. So no matter what I do, right, there's no way to get faster speed than that on this phone. This is directly connected inside my network to that file. So, again, in networking, the slowest point is the choke point, and that's as fast as you can go. So that's my limit right now. Like I said, I'll be experimenting with this and seeing what happens if I can make it even better. But 19 megabytes per second, that's the maximum my network can do. So I'm going to hit cancel here. Yeah. And close the app. And we're going to go back on Tailscale, which we weren't on. But now we're using a Tailscale router that is also overclocked. And like I said, no guarantees on any of this stuff. Like some CPUs overclock just fine. This seems to be one of them. No problems at all. Some don't. So you can experiment. This is experimental. The whole video is experimental. So we're connected. Go back to CX file and then go to network. Back to the same exact file in the same exact place. We're going to desktop. Copy. So we're going to go back now to local, and we're going to do that same test again here to my files with the exact same file. And you can see that overclocking that router made it go faster. Right? There's 11 megabytes per second. Now, I don't know if it can sustain that, but pretty good, right? I mean, just on one setting, right? Like we went from 7, 8, 9 to 11 megabytes per second. Now, that's a significant speed increase. Now, I've run this whole file through Tailscale and that router at this speed several times, so probably about 10 times now, just to test it to see if it was stable, see if it would overheat. And as you can see, it says here the elapsed time, remaining time would be 1 hour and 3 minutes. So 1 hour and 3 minutes is plenty of time to overheat a router if it's going to overheat. And it didn't. And like I said, I did it several times in a row without any problem. And I walked around with my phone all over the house and it worked just fine. Now, let's go hit cancel again. There we go. So there's another little trick on this video that you probably weren't aware of. But so go to the administration tab on your 192.168.1.2 and change it here, right there, overclocking, 896. But the original speed was 716, and that's the stock speed for the CPU, and seems to work just fine for me. Again, experiment. Not on me, your responsibility, what you do with your equipment. Okay. So let's just go back, recap on all of this. I'm going to disconnect. There we go. I'm going to then disconnect from cellular, from Wi-Fi, reconnect, and give you an outside world, real world speed test with the overclocked router now. So many variables. And again, I hope it works for you. I can't wait to see what kind of results people get using this stuff, but I'm seriously impressed with it myself. And I will be making another video, my next video, with higher end routers, slightly higher, not much. I mean, the MR7350 that I'm going to be using in the next video cost me about the same as the EA8300 did on eBay, about $30. So, not super high end stuff. Now, let's go back to my share. There it is. And it was on desktop. And there we go, front bearing. And copy the same file, always. There we go, put it on my local SD card, paste. And again, because I'm going through cellular, you can see that there's a serious speed difference there, right? I mean, that file would, according to this speed that I'm currently getting, would take 36 hours to go through. So, I mean, unless you're doing this internally in your network, it's not going to strain, that's not straining that router at all. Because remember, just, if I'm getting 690 or 700 kilobytes per second, that's all that router is pushing through it right now, because that's all it needs to push through, right? So it's not going to really strain it. And even internally where I did that, where it was doing 11 megabytes per second for hours, it didn't do anything to it overclocked. It worked for me. Now you have to test it, and I would test it in the same way, internally on your Wi-Fi network. Ooh, better stop that. There. Hopefully that stops it. Let's just hit cancel. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Careful. I don't want to use up all my data on my Wi-Fi, on my cellular data plan. Even though they say it's unlimited, it's still capped at a certain point. So again, just showing you all this, how all this works. But back to my router. No, that's not going to work. Okay. So I'm going to log in. And there, I'm logged in. You can see I'm not on Wi-Fi. This is my cellular network. This is my home router. There we are. And then you can see startup. There we go. I can do whatever I want with it, including over here in administration. Reboot the router remotely. Now, I would be very cautious on doing that, but because if it's functioning, why reboot it, right? And if it's not functioning, you reboot it, you probably won't be able to reboot it anyway. So yeah, I guess you could reboot it, no problem. I'm not going to do that right now because the Tailscale network is working through that router. And I can also look at the Tailscale router as well. And in a future video, I'm going to show you how you can remotely reboot your router or any device on your network cheaply, easily, and reliably anytime you want. And it's a very cool solution. Stay tuned for that. But right now, I'm just showing you all this working. Back on Tailscale. We are on cellular. I'm going to go off of that for now. And I don't know how much more you need to see on that. I guess I can go to all my other tools. GlassWire is pretty cool because let's say you are a Wi-Fi hotspot, like say a Starbucks, and you want to connect. This will tell you where the data is flowing, right? Here you can see mobile or Wi-Fi. You can pick either one, right? So right now Wi-Fi, and you can see Wi-Fi, CX File Explorer, put 10 gigs through, and mobile, right? Only 52.44 megabytes. And this is the live chart at the top. It will show you as you're doing it. So I'll demonstrate that to you. Let's do that copy one more time with CX File Explorer. And, again, we're basically done here with this video at this point. I'm just demonstrating stuff so that you can see how cool this is and how well it works. So local SD card, put it on my files. There we go. And as you can see, 11 megabytes per second. Inside here is awesome. And if I had just as fast Wi-Fi connection at, let's say, Starbucks, then I would get that speed. Same as, like I said, anywhere else. The slowest point on the network is what's going to choke you. So I'm going to go back to GlassWire. And again, I don't know if it's available for iOS, but you can see right now the mobile. I'm going to click on that, change that to Wi-Fi. And now you can see, well, I don't know what you can see here. It should be, yeah, that's it. Climbing, right, on Wi-Fi. But again, I like this because it shows me where the data is going, where the data is not, right? So this gives me some peace of mind and says, okay, I'm only using Wi-Fi here. I'm not using my mobile data. So that's all awesome for that. Okay. So again, pretty cool. That's one of the tools. Let's go look at a couple more. I've got mobile SSH, so you can log into the command line on these routers if you wish. I'm not going to demonstrate that. I mean, that's just annoying. Pinger is good because it shows you when you're live, okay? So let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to cancel that file. Transfer. Still 11 megabytes per second. Awesome. So you can see what the hardware can do, right? That's what the hardware can do. It's whether you're going to get that out in the real world, highly doubtful. You'd have to have a really fast connection. So my file transfer is done. Now, let's go back to straight cellular data. Let's disconnect from Tailscale and go back to Pinger. Now, since these are private IP addresses. I shouldn't be able to ping any of them. Google, if I ping it, of course, I'm on cellular. It's on the internet. I'll be able to get it. That's the cloud rerouter. Nothing. No return on that. Oops. My main router. Nothing. No return on that. My Pi-hole server, which is currently not functioning, which probably doesn't say much, so you wouldn't get one whether I was in or not. The access, the Wi-Fi app, nothing. Access point. And so nothing there. Now watch what happens to that program. Okay, I'm connected. Go back to pinger. Let's ping the cloudy server. There you go, right? Now I can ping it. And just to prove, I'm not on Wi-Fi, I'm not on anything. I'm on the cellular network only. So, same with my main router. So, you know, really handy tool to tell you what's going on and see if you're actually connected or not. All right, and my Wi-Fi app, let's see if we can hit that. Yep, access point, I'm pinging it. So that shows you that this Tailscale router will bring you into your home from anywhere in the world using your cellular data or Wi-Fi connection or whatever network connection you establish out there. And this isn't the only client. There's clients for Windows, for Linux, and all these other things. So you can do this on other devices. So, you know, if this video does decently well, I've spent weeks crafting the solution, those scripts, figuring out how all this works and making it work on a little router was not an easy task. This is a major project for me, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that it helps you create this beautiful device that you can use from anywhere in the world. That's it for my video. Hopefully you enjoyed that. This is a completely experimental setup, and I hope that the experiment works out for you. And if not, again, comment section below. Put your comments, questions, whatever you want to say to me in the comments section. I look at them regularly and respond to them regularly. This was a major project for me, and I am hopeful that it'll work for a lot of people and that it'll create a solution that people can use and love like I do. I will be using this, and in the future I will also be using, you know, different hardware other than this to do the same solution. Two better routers would be will probably be my next one, and I think I'm going to be using an MR7350 and the EA8300. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully it will work just fine with the same scripts, which I think it will. Hopefully that worked out for you. Video description, I'll put chapters in there so you'll be able to navigate through YouTube chapters. You'll be able to navigate through this easier. Also, the hardware I used in this video will be in the video description as well. If you like my content and you want to see more, give me a thumbs up. Definitely at the bottom there of the video, and subscribe to my channel. As part of that process, they'll get the bell icon, click the bell icon, and then you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and you can watch it at your own leisure. Again, like always, thanks so much for watching. I really hope that this helps a lot of people. I'm anxious to see how it works out. Again, thanks for your support. Stay healthy, stay happy, and we'll see you in the next video.